What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Prizepicks MLB player props video. This one I'm going to be breaking it down, giving you guys 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks. As always, guys, if you haven't signed up for Prizepicks, I would highly recommend you check them out. It is a player props website and app where you can win money off of picking the over and under on things like player strikeouts, first inning runs allowed, pitching outs, pitcher fantasy score, hitter fantasy score, etc. Go ahead and use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match deposit up to $100 on your first deposit today. Again, that is code KJK DFS. Go to lock that in, get that free money offer, and start winning some money over here on Prizepicks, guys. And if you are getting very serious about Prizepicks, I do offer premium content packages. Those are linked below in the description. Patreon.com/KJK_DFS. If you want to get access to all my tools, all my core plays, the Discord chat where you can ask me questions, check that out. And if you enjoyed the content, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Like goal on this video is going to be 200 likes, as always. So, yesterday, not a good day, unfortunately. Tough day at the office. We had some good picks from a strikeout prop aspect, and we went with the pitcher fantasy score. They actually all hit their strikeout props, so I guess a little food for thought there. You could always take the strikeout props alongside with the pitcher fantasy score when we go with these picks, but some heavy favorites that just didn't quite get the job done, allowed too many earned runs, didn't get the win. But the good news is, I like this slate a lot today. We have some more really good pitching options. Much better slate than yesterday as far as the variety that we have to pick from. So, excited to bounce back. Looking to go 5-0 as always. Looking to get a big win and get us back on the right track. So, just got to have a short-term memory sometimes. Some unfortunate stuff happened last night, but we're looking to bounce back. So, let's talk about it. Let's go game by game as we always do. In the first game I want to talk about is going to be the LA Dodgers taking on the Washington Nationals. I want to talk about Walker Buehler in this one. He comes in as a 217 favorite, massive favorite here, taking on the Washington Nationals in Washington. And I do want to be targeting him tonight for sure. As far as his stuff across the board, really, really good stuff for Walker Buehler. Looking at his stuff, 24.9% K rate overall. He's a 29.9% hard contact rate. He only gives up a 331 slugging to righties and a 335 slugging to lefties. Also features a 26.9% K rate to righties and a 23% K rate to lefties. He is stretched out. I expect him to go deep into the ballgame. Get the win as a massive 217 favorite. And have a nice pitcher fantasy score here. So we are going to be targeting the pitcher fantasy score for Walker Buehler tonight. I like the over 35.5 pitcher fantasy score. And one thing to note when I'm targeting these pitcher fantasy scores, like it's kind of a it's a combination of multiple things. You know, obviously you want the pitcher to get the win. So the lineup that's backing him up matters, that can provide run support. So the Dodgers have one of the best lineups in the league. And then the opposing pitcher kind of matters quite a bit too, obviously, because you're looking to get the win. And they get a good matchup here, taking on Josiah Gray, who's really not good. It's going to be kind of a theme of this video, but we have some good pitchers taking on some not so good pitchers. Gives up a lot of hard contact, does Josiah Gray. He has a 27% K rate against righties, but outside of that, that's about the only positive thing. Really bad against lefties. He gives up a 439 slugging to righties. And he's taking on the LA Dodgers, one of the best lineups in the league. So the reason that's so important is because we're looking for Walker Buehler to go 6+ innings, get the quality start, but we also want him to get the win because he gets a bonus 6 points if he does get the win. So that's a big important thing with the pitcher fantasy score. If he goes 6+ innings and allows 3 earned runs or less, he's going to get a bonus of 4 points. And if he gets the win, he's going to get a bonus of 6 points. So that's an automatic 10 points automatically applied to your pitcher fantasy score. And to be honest, if he gets both those things, it's really not too hard for him to clear this. Like if he goes 5 innings, he can allow a couple earned runs, maybe get 4 strikeouts, and then he gets the bonus 10 points. It's pretty easy to get 40+ fantasy points if that's the case. And so a lot of these guys I'm going to be talking about, that's kind of the case. It's a perfect storm. The opposing pitcher's not so good. They have a good lineup backing them up. They're a heavy favorite. They have a deep pitch count. So Walker Buehler does have a deep pitch count here. As far as how deep he's been going into games, 91, 82, 98, 92. So he's usually up there in the mid to upper 90s, if not the low 90s. But 5-5, 7-5 innings pitched, and he's gotten the win in 3 of his last 4. No surprise to me. He's on the LA Dodgers. He's going to get tons of run support. So that is a big part of my decision-making process when it comes to pitcher fantasy score. So I do like the over 35.5 pitcher fantasy score for Walker Buehler. That's going to be pick number 1 in the video. Pick number 2, we're going to be heading on down to the Minnesota Twins taking on the Detroit Tigers, and we are going to be targeting Sonny Gray, another massive favorite in this one in Minnesota. Pretty good pitching environment in Minnesota, and he is, once again, a massive favorite. It's also really good pitching weather, so a couple things adding up here. Really just plays really tough to right-handed hitters down the left field line as far as home runs are concerned. Right field's actually not that bad, but to right-handed hitters specifically, it does play pretty tough. He's taken on the Detroit Tigers, who do feature a very right-handed heavy lineup, so that is going to obviously, help him out. It's only 66 degrees, good pitching weather with 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight in. So he's a 247 favorite, expected to pick up the win. I do expect him to rack up some Ks here as well, looking at his stuff across the board. He has a 27.2% K rate overall with a 25.4% K rate to righties and a 29.3% K rate to lefties. And he gets to take on a Detroit Tigers team that strikes out a ton. You really can't ask for a much better matchup looking at their lineup up and down, starting from the bottom up as far as K rates concerned. 32, 25, 29, 27, 21, 33, 23, 19.7, and 25. So pretty much every single person in the lineup has a 20+% K rate. Jonathan Scope has a 19.7. Might as well count it as a 20. Sonny Gray has been working his way back from that injury. His pitch count continues to go up, up, up. He pitched the deepest into the ball game that he has all year last time out, going 6 innings. And I think this is, once again, kind of a perfect storm. The pitch count's finally up. He gets a great matchup. He's a heavy favorite. He's in Minnesota. I do expect him to finally be able to ramp this pitch count up to 90-plus pitches in this one, honestly. I think this is the one where he finally gets up there. And he's just going to go, I think he's just going to be on a cruise control against this Detroit offense. They only have a 3 implied run total. 247 favorite, taking on Bo Brees. Once again, terrible pitcher on the other side, so I expect there to be run support for him looking at Bo Brees stuff across the board. He's really, really bad. So everything adding up for Sonny Gray to have a nice pitcher fantasy score here, over 33.5. And all these guys that we're going to be targeting as well, none of them are 40+. Last time, Garrett Cole, we had a 40+ guy. He wasn't quite able to get there, so we're all going to be mid-30s, like I said. If they're able to just go 5 innings or more, get the win, have a decent start overall, it's pretty easy to get up there with a 40 pitcher fantasy score. I expect him to do so tonight. I like the over 33.5 pitcher fantasy score for Sonny Gray. Pick number 2 on the video. Pick number 3, we're going to head on down to the Houston Astros, taking on the Cleveland Guardians. We have another massive favorite in Framber Valdez. He's a 216 favorite. His team's expected to put up a bunch of runs against Zach Plesac. Another not-so-good pitcher. Framber Valdez is a very good real-life pitcher. Does a phenomenal job of keeping the ball on the ground. He's a hard-throwing, or not even necessarily hard-throwing, but he's a good sinker ball pitcher. That just does a really, really great job of keeping the ball on the ground. Looking at his stuff across the board, he doesn't have the highest of K rates, but he has a 69.1% ground ball rate. Really good stuff. Only a 13.3% fly ball rate. I mean, that's just absurd. That's just absurdly good. He only gives up a 311 slugging to righties, a 339 slugging to lefties. Once again, good ground ball, fly ball stuff to both sides. Massive favorite, and the Cleveland Guardians are not exactly a team that we're all too worried about. Looking at their lineup up and down, they do feature quite a bit of strikeouts at the bottom of the lineup as well. Austin Hedges, 27%, 9%, 29, 18, 30, 26, 12, 17, 20. So through the heart of the order and the bottom of the order, there's quite a bit of strikeouts. The top of the orders, there isn't that much strikeouts, but once again, we're dealing with a really good ground ball guy. That doesn't allow a lot of hard contact. The Cleveland Guardians only have a 3.21 implied run total. Massive favorite, expected to get the win, backed up by a good offense in the Houston Astros. And then you look at the pitch count as far as how deep he's been going into the games. Does have a very nice pitch count as well. Framber Valdez, you can see 96, 105, 96, 101, 97. He's gone 6+ innings in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight games. 0-3-2-2, 1 earned runs. So can't ask for much more as far as consistency is concerned out of Framber Valdez. Massive favorite, taking on a Cleveland Guardians team. He's expected to get the win. Expect to go deep in the ball game. Once again, he's only in the mid-30s in pitcher fantasy score. I expect, 40+ out of him, similar to all these guys we've talked about so far. I like the over 34.5 pitcher fantasy score for Framber Valdez tonight. That's going to be pick number 3. Pick number 4, we're going to head on down to the Chicago White Sox, taking on the Boston Red Sox. We're going to be targeting a guy we've been targeting a ton this year. It's going to be Dylan Cease. The guy's just got electric stuff. Taking on a Boston Red Sox team. He's a 169 favorite. Once again, Chicago White Sox have a pretty good lineup up and down. They get to take on Nick Pivetta, who is a guy that's a decent pitcher overall, but he allows a lot of hard contact. He's a guy that when he has to take on a more of a difficult offense, I tend to think he implodes more than he really pitches good. So I do think that Cease picks up the win here as well, similar to all these other guys we've talked about so far on the video. And I think he racks up a ton of Ks here. You could go to the K prop if you want. I'm just not feeling a need to, once again, just based on where his pitcher fantasy score line is set. Like, if he goes out there and strikes out 7, he has a 7.5 K prop tonight. I think he strikes out at least 7, but he might get 7 and then doesn't get the 8 strikeout, and then you're hung out to dry. But with the pitcher fantasy score, we don't have to worry about that. He has a 32.9% K rate overall, a 15.1% swinging strike rate, 33.3% K rate to righties, and a 32.5% K rate to lefties. Elite K stuff across the board. The Red Sox have a 3.29 implied run total, and they do have quite a bit of strikeouts towards the bottom of their order as well. Looking from the bottom up, Jackie Bradley has 28.4% K rate, 17, 32, 25, 13, 18, 26, 22, 17. So it's kind of more towards the bottom of the order where they start to give up a little bit more Ks, but it's Dylan Cease. He's going to strike out everyone. It's just kind of what he does. And then once he gets down to the bottom, I expect him to make quick work of that. And then lastly, very long leash. Once again, that's what we're looking at when we're trying to target pitcher fantasy score. 99, 93, 101, 90, 94 pitches. Last time he only went 5.2. Time before 4, 5. Hasn't quite got to that 6+ inning mark the last 3 times out, but I wouldn't let that deter you off him. The strikeouts are going to be there. I think the win will be there. And honestly, I think he's able to get 6+ innings in this particular matchup against the Red Sox with the lineup that they're expected to roll out. I think he has a good game here. So I do like the over pitcher fantasy score for Dylan Cease here. And lastly, we're going to be going on down to the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Kansas City Royals. Another massive 200+ favorite. Zach Gallen taking on these Kansas City Royals. John Heasley, terrible. The Royals bullpen, not worried about it. Heasley's the worst pitcher on the slate. So I expect him to get plenty of run support here. And I expect him to mow down some Kansas City Royals hitters as well. Looking at Zach Gallen stuff across the board, he features a 26.4% K rate overall. Good ground ball, fly ball stuff with a 29.5% K rate to righties and a 23.4% K rate to lefties. Really, really good stuff out of Zach Gallen. Another guy we've been targeting, similar to Dylan Cease. It seems like we've been targeting these two guys every single time they take the bump, but for good reason. And then lastly, the pitch count, of course, as always, that needs to be up there for us to really want to be targeting it. 92, 96, 88, 102, 90, all up there, and he is a massive favorite and has been good. 1-1, 0, 2, 0 earned runs, and then you look at the innings pitched, 6, 6, 7, 6, 5. So he's gone 6+ innings in 1, 2, 3, 4 of the last 5. Expecting more of the same here. He does have the highest pitcher fantasy score out of everyone we've been targeting so far, but I think for good reason. I think it's set pretty appropriately, and like I said, I'm expecting a 40+ fantasy score out of every single one of these guys that we're targeting today. So if I wasn't expecting that, I wouldn't want to be targeting them. That's kind of what I'm looking for on these lines, unless we're targeting like an elite guy like Corbin Burns, but I'm actually staying away from Corbin Burns for that reason. 40.5. I don't think we need to go there with these other 5 guys setting these mid-30s and being in good spots. So that is going to be my 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you haven't checked out the premium content packages, check those out. And if you haven't signed up for Prizepicks, sign up today. Use that promo code KJK DFS to receive that instant match deposit up to $100. Get that free money offer. Lock in these 5 picks. You can mix and match them if you want to mitigate risk. You can go for the big 5-man flex play if you want. Whatever you want to go with, but I got my 5-man flex play locked in, ready to go 5-0 as always. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks picks tonight, and we will see you in the next one.